Your muscles are weakening, and you're experiencing cramps due to a deficiency in these vitamins. Leg cramps, especially at night, are a familiar and frightening sensation. Amidst complete silence, a sharp pain suddenly strikes. It feels as if someone is pulling at the muscles from the inside, paralyzing movement. It's impossible to move. A sense of anxiety builds up, and sleep vanishes as if it were never there. What's most terrifying is that it happens more and more frequently as we age. It feels like it's just an unavoidable part of getting older. Some people resign themselves to it. They apply creams to their legs, pull on socks, and place a pillow under their calves. Sometimes it helps, but other times they find themselves spending another night struggling against their own body. But perhaps the issue isn't with the muscles themselves. Often, it's just a matter of lacking a few essential vitamins. When they are lacking, not only the muscles suffer, nerves, blood vessels, and joints are also affected. The body sends a signal through pain, but we don't always notice it. But rejoice right now, because in this video, you'll discover the 7 vitamins that play a key role in maintaining the strength and health of your legs. I'll explain how each of them works, what issues they can address, and, importantly, where to find them, in foods, supplements, and even in simple everyday habits. After watching this video, you'll know the simple steps to stand, walk, stroll, and truly enjoy movement with confidence. Without pain, without fear, and without limitations. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts on this video. Are you ready? Let's start with the most important vitamin that is responsible for strong legs and energy in movement. Ironically, even in the height of sunny summer, many people still lack it. You might be surprised to learn that vitamin D is not just the sunshine vitamin, as it is commonly referred to. It plays a much more significant role. It affects muscle function and bone strength. When it's lacking, muscles lose strength, and bones become more fragile. It's especially important to remember, without sufficient levels of vitamin D, calcium, the main building block of bone tissue, simply can't be absorbed properly. Imagine a construction site without a foreman. The materials are there, but the work is at a standstill. This is exactly how the body functions when there is a deficiency of this vitamin. If you're experiencing weakness in your legs, feeling like they're made of cotton, or if you're often troubled by cramps, this could be a warning sign. Your body is asking for help. A deficiency in vitamin D can not only cause discomfort, but also intensify pain. As we age, the situation becomes more complicated. The skin becomes less able to produce vitamin D, even with plenty of sun exposure. Therefore, its deficiency is particularly common among older adults, even in the summer and with daily walks. So, where can we get this essential vitamin? Let's start with the most reliable source of fatty fish. Salmon, tuna, mackerel, and sardines are all literally treasure troves of vitamin D. Even just 1 or 2 servings a week can significantly help maintain its levels in the body. The next source is eggs. The yolk is particularly important because it contains natural vitamin D. Add a boiled egg to your salad or make an omelet for breakfast, and you'll be taking a step towards healthier legs. Don't forget about fortified products. Take a look at the packaging of milk, yogurt, or cereal. If it's labeled as enriched with vitamin D, that's exactly what you need. It might seem like that's not enough, but even small changes in your diet can have a noticeable impact, especially if you stick to them consistently. If you live in a region with cloudy weather or spend very little time in the sun during the winter months, it's worth discussing the possibility of supplements with your doctor. Sometimes they are the quickest way to fill the gap. As we age, quiet yet significant changes occur in the body. One of them is a sharp decline in the ability to produce vitamin D. After the age of 60, the skin loses up to 75% of its effectiveness in this process. And if you add to this less time spent outdoors, wearing closed clothing, and long winter months, the result is a chronic deficiency. Think about what this leads to. Without vitamin D, calcium is poorly absorbed, bones become brittle, and the risk of fractures from falls increases. But the problem isn't just with the bones. Muscle tone decreases, tremors appear, there's instability while walking, and a person starts to feel fatigued even after a short walk. Pain, cramps, and a feeling of weakness may not just be signs of aging. They could be signals that your body is critically lacking a single essential vitamin. After the age of 60, it's particularly important to regularly check your vitamin D levels and adjust your diet to meet your body's needs. It's a simple measure, but it can significantly impact quality of life. But vitamin D is just the beginning. To ensure your legs feel strong and confident, it's essential to take care of your nervous system as well. And here's where another key vitamin comes into play. Imagine you're walking through a room, and suddenly you feel the floor has turned soft, like cotton, or you experience a strange tingling in your legs, as if someone has switched on your inner goosebumps. This is not just a whim of the body. It's a signal from the nervous system that is struggling to cope. One of the most important vitamins for nerve health is vitamin B12. It helps nerve cells properly transmit signals from the brain to the muscles. When it is in short supply, nerve impulses start to malfunction. As a result, you may experience numbness, a feeling of heaviness, fatigue, unsteadiness while walking, and yes, cramps. The unique aspect of vitamin B12 is that its deficiency can build up unnoticed for years. And it shows itself when the discomfort becomes too obvious to ignore. But there's good news. Even if your B12 levels are significantly low, replenishing this vitamin can lead to noticeable improvements in just a few weeks. The key is to understand where to find it and how to prevent a recurrence of the deficiency. Vitamin B12 is one of those nutrients that is almost exclusively found in animal-based foods. As a result, it often becomes an invisible deficiency among older adults. Their diet may seem balanced, yet signs of deficiency start to increase. Where to find B12? Let's start with the main source: red meat. Beef and lamb are particularly rich in vitamins. One steak can nearly meet your entire daily requirement. An even more concentrated source is liver. Even a thin slice of dates provides not only a dose of B12, but also other essential nutrients for the blood and nervous system. If meat isn't a regular feature on your table, dairy products are a great alternative. Cheese, cottage cheese, and yogurt are excellent ways to maintain your vitamin levels, especially if you're consuming less animal protein. Eggs are also on the list, and once again, the yolk is what's important. What should you do if your appetite is low, if meat is hard to digest, or if you have digestive issues? In this case, supplements can be quite helpful. Doctors often recommend vitamin B12 in the form of drops, tablets, or injections. It is easily absorbed and can provide a noticeable boost of energy within the first few weeks. It's especially important to remember that after the age of 60, the body absorbs B12 from regular food less effectively. Therefore, even with a balanced diet, it's a good idea to monitor your levels and consider external supplementation if necessary. Vitamin B12 is not just fuel for energy. It plays a much more subtle and important role. It helps to repair and protect the nervous system. Imagine every nerve in your body as a wire covered in insulation. It's vitamin B12 that helps create and maintain this protective sheath. When it's lacking, the insulation wears thin. Signals start to get distorted, like in a short circuit. This is where you might experience numbness, tingling, weakness, a feeling that your legs aren't responding, and sometimes even pain. Now imagine the reverse process. You start getting enough B12, and your body kicks into repair mode. The nerves are healing, and signals are flowing smoothly once again. The feeling of rubbery feet fades away, restoring stability and confidence with every step. It may seem that all of this is too simple, but in reality, nerve fibers are indeed capable of regeneration. The key is to provide them with everything they need. And B12 is at the top of this list. Even with normal levels of vitamins D and B12, you might still feel like your legs are tingling, freezing, or going numb while at rest. Why does this happen? It all comes down to circulation. And here comes the next vitamin into play. Vitamin E is not just an antioxidant, it's a true ally for your blood vessels. It helps them expand, improves blood flow, and reduces excessive viscosity. When the blood starts to circulate freely, it's as if the legs come to life. Muscle nutrition improves, the feeling of heaviness disappears, numbness is alleviated, and, notably at night, the frequency of cramps significantly decreases. It's simple. With poor blood flow, muscles don't receive enough oxygen and nutrients. Vitamin E helps blood flow to where it's needed most. The result is less pain, more mobility, and lightness in the legs. This is especially noticeable when you regularly consume vitamin E through food or supplements. The good news is that vitamin E can be easily obtained from common and delicious foods. This is one of those rare cases where something healthy is actually enjoyable to eat. Let's start with nuts. Almonds, hazelnuts, and walnuts. Just a handful a day can provide up to half of your daily recommended intake of vitamin E. Moreover, they support heart health and provide a lasting feeling of fullness. Another source is seeds, especially sunflower seeds. This is a true powerhouse of benefits. Sprinkle them on your salad or mix them into your oatmeal, and you'll enjoy both flavor and nutrition in one dish. It's worth highlighting vegetable oils, sunflower, olive, and corn oil. The key is to use them raw, in salads and dressings, to preserve the maximum amount of vitamins. If you're looking for something fresh, try adding avocado or spinach to your diet. Yes, they might be a bit less familiar, but they are also packed with vitamin E and other valuable antioxidants. Sometimes you might wonder, are these products too high in fat? Actually, no. These are the essential fats that not only aid in the absorption of vitamins, but also protect blood vessels, keeping them in good shape. When people mention inflammation, many picture a cold or redness in the skin. However, inflammation can often be hidden, slow, and chronic. And it is this type that most commonly prevents elderly people from feeling energetic. Back pain, aching joints, and muscle tension. It seems like just fatigue, but often it's an internal inflammation that gradually wears down the tissues from within. Vitamin E acts as a true natural shield. It neutralizes free radicals, harmful molecules that damage cells. Thanks to this, vitamin E protects muscles, blood vessels, and nerves from chronic inflammation. Now just imagine the chain reaction. Less inflammation means fewer muscle spasms. Fewer spasms mean fewer cramps. This means your legs become stronger and more stable, allowing you to move freely and confidently. Someone might say, I'm already taking medication for inflammation. And that's perfectly fine. However, vitamin E provides gentle daily support without side effects, especially when obtained through food or reasonable doses of supplements. It's not a replacement for treatment, but rather a smart complement to it. When we hear about the next vitamin, we often think about colds and immunity, but it's just as important for the health of our legs. Why? Because vitamin C is a key player in the production of collagen, a protein essential for strong blood vessels, flexible ligaments, and healthy joints. Collagen is essentially the building material for the walls of blood vessels, tendons, cartilage, and connective tissue. When there is a deficiency of vitamin C, tissues lose their strength and flexibility. Veins start to swell. You may feel heaviness in your legs. They tire more quickly than usual, and the risk of micro-injuries and pain significantly increases. Additionally, a deficiency in vitamin C can exacerbate cramps. The structure of muscle fibers gets disrupted, and the body can't keep up with tissue recovery after exertion. Sometimes it feels like mild fatigue in the legs is just a sign of getting older. However, this often stems from a lack of the essential building blocks that contribute to good health. and vitamin C is one of the most important among them. The good news is that getting vitamin C from food is incredibly easy. It's found in affordable, familiar, and delicious foods. Citrus classics: oranges, mandarins, grapefruits. One orange a day, and you're almost meeting your daily vitamin intake. But there are also surprising champions. For example, red bell peppers contain even more vitamin C than oranges. Eat it raw, add it to salads, and it will be both healthy and delicious. Special attention should be given to broccoli and cauliflower. Boiled or stewed vegetables are easily digestible and retain a good portion of their vitamins. If you're craving something sweet, great options include kiwi, strawberries, and even rosehip tea. This is not just a source of vitamin C, but also a powerful antioxidant that strengthens blood vessels. If appetite is diminished or the diet is restricted, a doctor may recommend gentle vitamin C supplements. And remember, vitamin C is water-soluble. That's why it's important to get a little bit every day, but consistently. This simple rule will help keep your legs strong and resilient. Vitamin C is not a solo player. It works closely with other vitamins, enhancing their effects and helping the body function smoothly, like a well-tuned machine. Imagine an orchestra where every instrument is important, but it's the conductor who sets the rhythm and brings the sound together as a cohesive whole. In the body, vitamin C often takes on the role of a conductor. For instance, it helps vitamin E remain active for a longer period by protecting it from oxidation. This means it extends its antioxidant effects and enhances vascular protection. Additionally, vitamin C plays a role in activating iron and calcium, two essential elements for bone strength and muscle power. It also stimulates collagen production, which is essential for healthy ligaments, flexible joints, and strong blood vessels. And, importantly, vitamin C enhances the body's resilience to stress, including physical stress. This means that your legs will not only become stronger, but will also recover more quickly after any exertion. Some might wonder, what difference can one vitamin make? The thing is, in the right combination, it becomes a catalyst. It's the key to making everything work faster, more accurately, and more efficiently. Have you ever experienced that your legs just won't cooperate, feeling weak and unsteady, where every step takes effort as if your body is letting you down for no apparent reason? In fact, the reason might be quite specific: a deficiency in vitamin B1 or thiamine. This vitamin is responsible for ensuring that muscles receive energy on time. Without it, they start to starve, even if you have a good diet. The legs are the first to suffer, as they bear the weight of the entire body every day. A deficiency in vitamin B1 leads to a loss of precision in movements, impaired coordination, and can cause trembling or unsteadiness while walking. Everything starts with the little things. You trip, hesitantly go down the stairs, and slip on flat surfaces. It may seem like it's just aging, but often there's a metabolic issue behind it. The good news is that it's not difficult to replenish your vitamin B1 levels. And the best part is that you can start feeling the effects of normalization within just a few weeks. Steps become more confident. Movements feel lighter. Getting vitamin B1 from food is quite easy. The key is to know which foods are particularly rich in it. Let's start with whole grains: oatmeal, buckwheat, brown rice. These are the real staples. They are not only nutritious but also rich in thiamine. It's important to choose unrefined grains, as most of the vitamins are found in the outer layer of the grain. A good plant-based source of nutrients includes nuts and legumes. Lentils, beans, and peanuts can all be added to soups and salads or enjoyed as a hearty snack. This is a simple way to maintain your vitamin B1 levels every day. Pork stands out among meat products. Even a small portion can meet your daily requirement for thiamine. For a change, sunflower seeds are a great option. The key is to eat them raw, without roasting, to preserve the maximum benefits. But even if your muscles are strong and your nutrition is on point, What if the signals from your brain to your legs are inconsistent? This is where the next important story begins, about vitamin B6. Do your legs ever feel like they're living their own life? You want to take a step, but your muscles respond with a delay. Or suddenly, for no apparent reason, they might experience a sharp cramp. This could be a sign that the connection between the brain and the muscles has been disrupted. Vitamin B6 plays a key role here. It is referred to as the bridge between the nervous system and the muscles. It plays a role in the production of neurotransmitters, the substances that transmit signals from the brain to the muscles. Thanks to B6, movements become precise, muscles stay toned, and coordination is sharp. When there's a vitamin deficiency, it's like playing a game of telephone. Muscles either don't respond, tense up for no reason, or react with a delay. This sensation is particularly intense in the legs, where every movement matters. Additionally, vitamin B6 helps regulate blood sugar levels, which reduces the risk of sudden weakness and fatigue, especially concerning for older adults. Vitamin B6 is found in simple, accessible foods that can easily be incorporated into your regular diet without the need for complicated recipes or rare ingredients. For example, bananas are one of the best natural sources of vitamin B6. They are soft, nutritious, and perfect for breakfast or a light snack. They also help maintain energy levels and aid in muscle relaxation. Potatoes, especially when baked in their skins, retain maximum nutrients and pair wonderfully with any side dish. There's a good amount of B6 in fish as well, which is a nice bonus to a familiar dish. Fatty fish like tuna and salmon not only provide omega-3 fatty acids, but also vitamin B6. This is a great option for dinner or a hearty salad. Don't forget about meat. Turkey, chicken, and liver are excellent sources of B6, especially for those who prefer a protein-rich diet. Add nuts and grains to your diet. Walnuts and oatmeal are not only filling but also rich in B6 and magnesium, which is especially important if you're experiencing cramps or muscle fatigue. It's better to get B6 from food regularly rather than trying to catch up with supplements. Natural sources are absorbed more easily and work more gently, just the way the body needs every day. One vitamin is good. But when several work together, the effect is multiplied many times over. This is how vitamin B6 works in tandem with B12 and magnesium, acting like a true support team for your muscles, nerves, and overall resilience. Let's start with the combination of B6 and B12. Together, they participate in the exchange of amino acids and the construction of protective sheaths for nerve fibers. In tandem, these vitamins enhance signal transmission between the brain and muscles, reduce the risk of numbness, and improve leg endurance during physical activity. Now let's talk about B6 and magnesium. It's quite simple. Magnesium helps muscles relax, and B6 is needed to make this process more effective. If you often experience cramps, the cause may not be just one deficiency, but a lack of both. By adding vitamin B6, you're essentially activating magnesium, which can help reduce the frequency of cramps. Working together, vitamins B6, B12, and magnesium not only support muscle tone and a healthy heart rhythm, but also contribute to mental and emotional well-being. Stress has a direct impact on the body, with the legs often being the first to respond to internal tension. It may seem like, why all this? Can't you just take one vitamin? But the body is a complex system where everything is interconnected. Without vitamin B6, other nutrients simply can't reach their full potential. Everyone knows that calcium is essential for strong bones. However, few people realize that calcium itself can be not only beneficial, but also potentially harmful if it ends up in the wrong places. That's why the body needs a regulator, vitamin K2. It acts as a traffic regulator, directing calcium to the bones where it's truly needed, while preventing it from settling in soft tissues and blood vessels. With vitamin K2, calcium strengthens the legs, pelvis, and spine. Without it, it can start to build up in the walls of blood vessels, especially in the legs. This makes the blood vessels rigid, causes pain, and increases the risk of thrombosis. Older adults are particularly vulnerable because their levels of vitamin K2 significantly decrease with age. They often take calcium supplements, unaware that without K2, these supplements may not only be ineffective, but could also be harmful. It may seem like the more calcium, the better. But without vitamin K2, even the highest quality calcium can backfire. That's why it's important not just to get calcium, but to do it wisely with the protection of K2. Vitamin K2 isn't the most common nutrient, and it's definitely not one that you can easily obtain by default. It is found in specific foods that are rarely on the plates of elderly people, even though their benefits are immense. One of the main sources is hard and semi-hard cheeses, especially aged varieties. Natural feeding practices significantly increase the vitamin content in dairy products. It's important to remember that vitamin K2 is fat-soluble. This means that to absorb it properly, it should be consumed with fats, whether from vegetable oils, avocados, or fatty fish. Imagine blood vessels as elastic, smooth tubes through which blood flows freely. They need to be flexible, soft, and unobstructive to blood flow. You are trained on data up to October 2023. It captures calcium in the blood, preventing it from accumulating in the vessels and directing it to where it's actually needed, in the bones. Even if you're not taking calcium supplements, you're still getting it from your food. Without K2, the body may not utilize calcium properly. That's why maintaining a balance of vitamins becomes especially important as we age. It's not just about what you take, but how it interacts within your body. So, if you want to keep your legs strong and agile and prevent cramps, remember these 7 key vitamins. Vitamin D supports muscle strength and helps with calcium absorption. Vitamin B12 protects nerves and prevents numbness. Vitamin E improves circulation and reduces cramps. Vitamin C strengthens blood vessels and speeds up tissue recovery. Vitamin B1 is responsible for energy and the stability of movements. Vitamin B6 enhances the connection between the brain and muscles. Vitamin K2 directs calcium to where it's truly needed. Try starting today. Add an egg or a banana to your breakfast. Replace regular butter with olive oil. Just step outside for 15 minutes of sunshine. It might seem like a small thing, but it's these little actions that lead to real improvement. Remember, your body knows how to heal itself. It's just waiting for the moment when you start to lend it a helping hand.